Okay, so in this video, we're going to go over how to create remarketing campaigns within Google Ads. So let's go up here to Tools and Settings, and then we want to go to the Audience Manager here. And we do not have a audience right now. So what we want to do is go to Audience Sources and make sure that we're pulling the data from the Google Analytics. We walked through in another video how to set this up. So make sure that you have followed the steps and properly installed Google Analytics. So collect data from a source and then crawl space cleaners right here. So we're good. Okay, done. Okay, so let's go to Settings and Tools, Linked Accounts, and then we can see here which accounts we have linked and connected. And we go here to Details. We can see here that we have the crawl space actual Google Analytics account connected here. Okay, great. Okay, so now let's go to Google Analytics here, and let's go to Admin, and let's go to the tracking info here. We want to make sure that the data collection here is set up. Okay, that's on. Okay, great. So now let's go back over here and let's go to Google Ads linking. We want to make sure that we have the right link here attached to the actual Google Ads profile. You can see the number here, and let's actually rename this. Let's see if we can rename this property here. Click on this and let's actually go to Edit and let's name this Crawl Space Pros. Okay, great. Let's go save. And so now that should reflect Crawl Space Pros. Okay, great. So now we're good to go. Now we can create the audiences here within Google Analytics, or we can create them within Google Ads. Now I'm going to walk through how to set them up here through Google Analytics because it's actually quite simple, and then we can push those to go live on Google Ads. So let me show you how we would set this up. So let's go to Audience Definitions and Audiences here. So let's go ahead and create a whole new audience here. And as you'll notice here, we have various types of lists that we can create that Google here is providing us. So let's say we want to create a list of all the users that have visited the website, new users within a certain time frame, or returning visitors, or users who visited a specific page. Let's say they landed on the landing page and they didn't take that action, they didn't take that offer. We can retarget those individuals as well. So let's do the all users one here. So everybody that has visited the website in the last 30 days, okay? And let's just put all users, okay? And let's go to next step here. So publish. Let's go down here. Let's make sure that this is going to our Google Ads. You want to make sure that you have this selected here because then it'll show up in the Google Ads platform, right? So we'll have that in there and we'll publish it as there as well. And then we can see it that now this is pushed into the Google Ads. And so let's go back to audiences here and we can see that this all users audience here, right, we have within Google Ads and Google Analytics. Okay, so now let's go back to Google here and let's go to Audience Manager. And we can see here that we have our audience list here. We can either create it over here like I mentioned, or we can set it up in here by just going to this website visitors and pretty much doing the same thing. And if we want to break this down even further and maybe just say we want an audience here of people who just landed on the landing page. So let's say we had crawl space pros.com / water damage. Okay, we can have that right there, and then we would have all the information here as far as pre-fill with the list of people who matched for the last 30 days, member duration, the last 30 days. Okay, great. And then the description here, this is for people who have landed on the water damage landing page and did not take offer. Boom, right there. Let's name this water damage list past, and then we can put a date here. Let's go 119, create audience, and then boom. So this is a audience here, and so it's populating. Obviously you want to have visitors, you want to have data, and if you're running ads, then you should have a pretty good amount of data to work with. Now, here's the thing to keep in mind with remarketing campaigns. Just like with Facebook, very, very simple to set up, just like I set one up here. Now, the biggest thing with like local businesses in the service space, you're most likely not going to need to create pre-marketing campaigns if the services are pretty much straightforward. Typically, people who are searching a term like crawl space cleaning or crawl space repair services, right? They're going to need somebody fairly quickly, and they're doing a little bit of shopping, but not too much. So just keep in mind that you won't really need to do a whole lot of remarketing with local campaigns. However, if you're working with national campaigns, that's when it's going to make the most sense, more often than not, to do remarketing campaigns. Now, this is one form of remarketing here. You can also create display remarketing as well, where you have those ads that will show up on different websites that will follow you all over the internet. That's a separate type of remarketing that is done through the display network. But for this one here, this remarketing here is done through the Google Ads platform, or if you want to create it on the Google Analytics and then push it to Google Ads. But it's probably going to be the easiest for you just to create them here through the Google Ads. So let's go right here to this plus sign, and as you notice here, we can retarget people from different actions: app users, visitors, YouTube users, custom list. Now, the customer list here, you need to have at least about $40,000 or $50,000 in spent advertising. So you'll notice here, if we press this right here, not eligible, right? So there's a certain threshold there you need to hit to be able to upload customer list. So for now, and pretty much just this right here should be just fine. Now, I want to show you another reason why most likely in the very beginning, when you're running ads for local businesses, for clients, you're not going to need to do remarketing, because you're not really going to get very much visitor traffic, right? So for example here, Google has remarketing size limits, right, as far as for audience. So for example, for the search network, they need to have a minimum of 1,000 active visitors, right, or users within the last 30 days. And most local businesses don't get very much traffic to their website. And if you're running ads, you're probably not going to hit 1,000 active users anyways, right, within the first 2 to 3, 4 months. So that's why you're really not going to be doing very much retargeting in the beginning for local businesses. Now, if you're running a large national business, maybe e-commerce, then yes, that would make sense to do remarketing, right? And even on the display network. However, for the majority of local businesses, when you're running campaigns, you're not going to need to create remarketing campaigns. I just wanted to walk you through how you'd set one up, okay? So that's going to be it here for this one, and we'll see you on the next one.